Hey Rumpers, I am going for number one again and have another fun deck to show you. So this one I call Wards and Swords. And really this is a pretty simple deck. I'm not going to go through like the card by card breakdown because it's all basically just buffs and wards. So wards and buffs just go really well together. And there's a lot of stuff here that gives you buffs and a lot of wards, and that's basically what the deck is. You could call this list unrefined. There are kind of a lot of one-offs in here. Some things that potentially don't shouldn't be in here, like Baron of Tyr, playing like a Throne Aligned, which is a card that you wouldn't see very often, but actually works kind of nicely. Like if you put out like a little warded creature like Altmer Flamesling or something, and then put Throne Aligned on them, it can really help in your defense. And so yeah, it's pretty much just wards and buffs. There's a couple cards here that maybe merit a little bit of extra attention, which are like Marauder Chieftain. Only got two of them in there because sometimes it's hard to find value out of this. Like if you have two Marauder Chieftains in hand, it can be kind of awkward. But this card is just great because it splits your threats, right? It, like, almost by its very nature, it makes it so that you have two cards on board that they have to deal with. And you always want to be splitting your threats, making it hard for them to deal with everything that you're doing. Another one that's amazing in this deck is Iliac Sorcerer. So this card can get totally wild because you can double its power, and with all the buffs in here, his power can get insanely huge. And there's a couple lesser wards in here to you can break its ward multiple times and double its power every time. So it is kind of like a high rolly card. If they have like an Earthbone Spinner or something, they can just destroy it, or really any silence, right? It's just going to destroy it. But when it works, it's pretty hilarious. Like there was one game I was playing against this life gain deck that had Leafwater Blessings and everything, and they were at 38 life, and I got my Iliac Sorcerer up to 40 attack power and OTK'd them from 38 life. So it was pretty great. Feels good moment. So yeah, I'll just show you the deck in action, and hopefully let's see if we can hit number one. Yeah, just another card in here that I just love having an excuse to play is Merrick. So Merrick, gives all your creatures a different item, and sometimes he'll kind of troll you. He'll put that Throne Aligned on the creature you really wanted to attack with and shackle them, or give like a 0 cost item or whatever to your guys, but sometimes pays off big. Okay, here, clearly Triumphant Jarl I'm gonna put back. Sower is just so good. Like there's not a lot of five drops that I keep, but Sower, another Sower, amazing. I don't know if I'd love having two Sowers. I probably wouldn't have kept two of them on the mulligan, but maybe it'll work out for us. We just need to, draw into our like 3 drops here. Okay, that's not a 3. So I'm really open to see a 2 or a 3 come into my hand next turn, so I have something to do on my turn. He's playing Hlaalu. I don't know. Like Hlaalu, yeah, it used to be all aggro. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing interesting stuff with Hlaalu. Ah, drawn to a 2 is so good. I actually don't have any buffs in my hand, which is kind of unusual when you're playing this deck. Usually you just would have something to buff this by now, but hopefully we'll draw into it. And plan is to play Garnag and Field. Oh wow, they're really not doing anything. Another Sour! This is absolutely ridiculous to have 3 Sours like this. I think I'm just going to break their rune right now, because if they get a Javelin, I don't care. And
I have no time for
I'd end up losing a lot of damage if I didn't either break their rune now or like sometimes when Flameslinger is on board, you want to leave them even like 2 above breaking, because at the start of your turn, if they get like a javelin at the very start of your turn, that can be bad. They could like javelin my Garnag before it gets a chance to attack or something. So they're in for a nasty surprise when they find out we have 3 sowers in hand. I mean, it's really, really hard for them to, you know, win the game when they have 3 sowers in hand. Like, unless they have a bunch of casts at a time or something. Okay, we found our buffs, but, you know, now we're just gonna go ham and, so we're just, you know, protect our field lane. It's gonna be really, really hard for them to come back from this when I have 3 sowers. Okay. It's not too bad because it actually doesn't break their rune, because they gained 5 and lose 5, and now I can just take out their aspirant. So it's kind of a desperation play for them to use that Monk Strike so early, but you know, they're in a really hard spot. They don't know that I have these 2 swords in hand too, so they don't even know how hard of a spot they're in. They get a prophecy here. Nope.
Out of our sight. No one gets through. I have no time for fools.
Do you not fear me, Walter? You should.
So yeah, I don't know what kind of deck they're playing. It could be move Hlaalu. Yeah, I'm glad I kept that sour after all, even though I drew into 2 more. It's like, man, having 3 sours. This card being a 5/5 is ridiculous. This card should not be a 5/5. It's so ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Hit number 1 already, but let's just keep going. Maybe we'll lose it, but I want to show you the deck. The opponent must have had a really bad draw because they skipped a bunch of their turns there. So I want to show you how it plays when there's a little more interaction. Yeah, this is a fun deck to play. It is kind of, like, it's not really a hard deck, I think, to pilot. Sometimes I kind of play this deck when I don't want to think too much, and I just want to kind of, you know, win some games. You know, it has decisions. There's definitely decisions here, and especially with, like, having so many, like, 1-ups and everything. You do end up with, you know, a pretty varied hand, and which can make some interesting decisions. Although if you drop 3 sowers, then your hand's not very varied. Okay, against another Hlaalu. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, okay. So Mute is a really, really good card. Really just absurdly good. Like, this card is way too good. And I hate Silence. I think Silence is take an interesting card and make it boring. So I don't usually like to play a lot of Silence for that reason, but Mute, I would feel like I was just handicapping myself too much if I don't play Mute, because it's just absurdly broken at 1 mana. But I like to see it in the late game. Like, it is often good in the early game, but it's even better in the late game. So my win keep, I think I might just play it Shadow, because I don't want to necessarily waste the ward on his 1/1.
For the Black Hand.
Oh, okay. He's playing Slay. So with him playing Slay, it's really good that I have so many wards. So I might just burn through my ring here, because if I keep Satanin in hand, then it can give a buff to the Marauder.
Confound you!
And same with Daggrofall Dagger. If I keep both these in hand, then the Marauder Chieftain has the potential to get a huge amount of value.
Speak, citizen.
And I can really split my threats really efficiently if I do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna burn through my ring here.
I am the shield of my clan.
Buff this one just in case he has like a silence or something, Earthwind Spinner. I'd rather him spinner this. Okay. So now, okay, there's that Sower again. So I want to use my Morkel to take care of this Werebat.
Close ranks, let nothing through.
And then I'll give the Daggrofall Dagger to him, and just in case it's like a Prophecy Guard, wait to hit with the save the Windkeep Spellsword for last. They have a lot of life gain here, but I have a lot of pressure on board, and next turn I can play my Sower or play my Satanin. So going up to 19, and I have, so already on board, I have 15. And then with Satanin and the Marauder Chieftain, that becomes lethal. Or the other option, if they do something like, you know, Javelin my Marauder Chieftain or something, would be just Sower field next turn and try to, you know, get rid of this Golden Initiate, and also they don't have the stuff right now to okay, they get an extra draw there from the Brotherhood Sanctuary, which is kind of cool for them, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. So 21, let's see, do I have 21? So I have 15, I have exactly 21 with
Gall and pox.
I come bearing
the Satanin.
No one bests me.
Oh, Prophecy.
Just give me a name.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
This was a worthy contest.
Okay, yeah, so that's kind of how the deck plays, right? Against their Slay deck, my boards are really good. The Marauder Chieftain, you know, put in serious work there. And even though they gained a ton of life, I just put so much pressure. You know, the great thing about, you know, playing so many buffs like this is it just gives you so much reach. Like, you can really put a lot of pressure because you don't have to wait that extra turn for your stuff to get value. Like when I played that Morkel out, right, especially with the Marauder Chieftain, it immediately added 4. So, yeah, like, that's one thing that Battle Mage is really good at. Okay, 2 one-offs here, which are the Assassin's Bow and the Skirmisher's Elixir. Yeah, so I'm not gonna, I want, like, creatures. If I had it too for this, like, you know, Daggerfall Phantom or something, I would keep the Assassin's Bow, but also against Archer. Okay, this is kind of cool. Okay, so Iliac Sorcerer, one thing that I didn't mention about Iliac Sorcerer is sometimes you just play Iliac in field, and just from turn 1, you just instantly win field for the rest of the game. Because they're so scared that you're going to do something crazy with the Iliac, that if they don't have like the Earthbound Spinner or something in hand that they know they can do with the Iliac, it just you know, scares the crap out of them, and they just stop contesting. See, there they could have killed this, which actually would have been, you know, arguably.
Let's put these to use.
Don't underestimate me.
Okay, really good. There's no prophecy there.
Paws are quicker than your eyes.
Yeah, that Iliac. I mean, I do have a lot for the Iliac, so it was probably correct to kill it, but
Too slow.
it let me take out their Jackal. Okay. And I'll just play Morkel here. So once again, always splitting threats.
Underestimate.
You know, putting the buff onto my one health creature makes it vulnerable to rapid shot or something like that, or Skaven, tiny dragon. You know, so many things. An archer can do 1 damage, but oh wow, they're just, man, that. I don't know why they did that. I mean, they could have taken out my Morkel and set up to take out something else next turn, but
Too slow.
they wanted to hit me face for whatever reason. It's kind of tempting to play my skirmishes with this turn. I guess I will. It uses up the rest of my ring, but puts a lot of pressure.
I will taste blood. Clear out.
Okay. And then I'm trying to decide which lane to play when keep Spellsword. I'll just keep going field.
My arcane spears. This day will be mine.
I'm trying to swing for lethal next turn, so it might not matter too much, but... And I mean, I should even be able to skip all their runes. If any of my creatures survives and they don't guard this lane, then any of my creatures can skip with the Steel Sword and the Ornamented Sword. And with Mute in hand, even if they play a guard, or even if they play 2 guards. So I don't think they have a way to come back from this. Like, if they have that giant snake. A giant snake would have been the worst thing for me. Actually, giant snake, even I mute my own creatures, and then I can still skip all their runes. So even giant snake wouldn't have messed me up there.
Your cause or your life. This was a worthy contest.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so, you know, that's how the deck works. Like I said, you know, a bit unrefined. There's probably improvements that you can make to this deck. So let me know what you think about it, and I will catch you next time.